Hello everyone, you're welcome to Waves Africa YouTube channel where we educate Africans on how to write smart contracts and build the apps that runs on the Waves blockchain. And today we are looking at something very important on the Waves ecosystem, the Waves account. In this series today we have a lot of videos already on our channel. You can check them out and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any question, drop it below on the comment section. And ensure to stay tuned with us. We have all the resources coming in our subsequent videos. So this is the structure of our tutorial today. First, we'll be understanding the Web 2.0 authentication, and we'll be talking about the Waves blockchain keys. These are important features of the Waves account. This video is a part one of the full video. In our upcoming video, we'll make the second side of this tutorial. But today we'll be looking at the public key, the private key, and how Waves account appears on the Waves blockchain. Quickly, everyone is very familiar with Web 2.0, which has to do with centralized email services and user-generated content and all of that. So we are going to be differentiating the Web 2.0 pattern of validation and identifying users, and also from the Web 3.0 pattern of validating and verifying users. So the Web 2.0 here I'm talking about refers to our normal apps, refers to our normal websites, okay, so that you can understand me. Now, the traditional web uses email and passwords to identify users and validate their actions. Simple. So you as a person, you are known on a website by your email and your password. You get that? Now, this is an illustration that shows how it works. Here is a browser. Now, this browser, you can use it to log into a website where you have an account or where you conduct any activity online. And when you come to the website, for you to enjoy the service that is offered on this platform, the website needs a way to identify if you are really the one that is going to like. Okay, let's take Facebook, or for example, when you log into your Facebook, the Facebook website, you have to enter your email and your password. This is to ensure that when you log into the platform, when you like a comment, the system should be able to know who is liking a comment or who is posting an article. All right. So what happens here is you open up your browser and log in the name of the website. And once it opens, you type in your email address and your password, and these two details are used to query a database. Remember, here we are taking an instance that you are logging in, meaning you already registered before. You have these two details on their own server. So what they do is when you come trying to log in, these two details are used to query the database. And if the database finds out that these two details are corresponding, they are correct, it brings you to a successful page, or it grants you access. All right, that's Web 2.0. Remember, this same database is controlled by the owners of the platform. All right. So your email, which is on this database, can be changed. Your password can be changed, and your account on this database can be changed. Exactly. I know you just understood me now. Now, this is what Web 3.0 does differently. It doesn't have a central point whereby an entity can come and delete your account. So let's look forward and see how does Web 3.0 do this stuff better. But before that, we have to understand keys on the Waves blockchain. Here we are talking about the public key and the private key. Okay, I will use the bank account to illustrate this. The public key here has to do with, just as the name implies, the public key. Public, anyone can see it. It has no risk showing it up to anyone. But your private key, as the name is also, is private to you. So your Waves public key and your Waves private key are entities of your Waves account. All right. And the private keys are 32 byte values that correspond to each other according to certain rules. We are making a different video on how a Waves account, the public key and the private keys are generated. But before then, I need you to understand that the public key is the identifier of an account on the Waves blockchain. It's like an ID. It is a part that leads transactions. It directs affairs. Okay, it is how you see, it is how you know. Just like an IP is your identity online. Okay, so your public key is like your own ID, your identity on the Waves blockchain, while your private key is what allows you to generate a signature. It is your private key used in signing transactions. It is your private key you use in proving ownership of an account. So when you want to send out money out of an account, you need your private key to sign that transaction, proving that I am the owner of this account. Okay, and the Waves address can be generated from a public key with additional parameters, and those parameters include one, an address version. Currently, there's only one address version on the Waves blockchain, a network byte, and the network byte here, this is something very amazing about the Waves blockchain. The network byte here on the Waves address, it is what makes the blockchain to understand which network does this account belong to. Is it a mainnet account? Is it a testnet account, or is it a stagenet account? Remember, in our previous video, we talked about the Waves faucet, which is used on the testnet, and the faucet is enables a developer or anyone to get free waves, but these free waves are not free. You can't spend them on the main network. They don't cost real money. So it is with this network parameter, that's the network byte, that enables the blockchain to be able to block tokens or waves coins from moving from testnet to mainnet. Just imagine if uh, the free waves you get from waves testnet on the on the waves faucet, if you could move them, you could just imagine that the network could be spammed, people would be earning free waves and move it from the test net to the main net and sell it off. But unfortunately, the network byte doesn't allow you to do that. Okay, the network is able to know that, oh, this account is a mainnet account, so any transaction that is not coming from mainnet cannot get into this account. All right, and the last parameter there is the checksum. We'll have this explained shortly in our coming video explaining how which account is created. Now, earlier on, I discussed about how authentication works with Web 2.0. That's the email and the password model. But here on the blockchain, is quite different. It doesn't use email address or anything that is controlled by a central entity. It uses keys, and the keys here has to do with the public keys and the private key. How does it work? Blockchain uses keys to identify a user. Remember, I said your public key is what? It is your ID. It is your ID. And the keys are also used to validate users' transaction. The validation part here is done by what? The private key. Okay? It is done by the private key. When I want to receive payment from anyone, I send them my Waves address. Remember, a Waves address is generated from a Waves public key. Now, when I send you my Waves address, you can send in money just like the traditional bank, how it works. You can give anyone your bank account and they can send money inside. But having your bank account doesn't grant anyone access to withdraw the money in the funds. It doesn't even let anyone to view the amount on your account. So this is how it works. Let's say someone, you want to make a transaction on the blockchain, you are doing that with your private key and your public key. Why do we need the private key? It is because we need this private key so that when the transaction arrives at the account of the recipient, he or she should be able to know where the payment came from. So what happened is the private key, this transaction, once it's launched, okay, now it is through the signing algorithm that the private key is used. It is used to what? You use the private key to sign this transaction. All right, that brings us here, a digital signature signing, I am the one authorizing this what? This transaction. And if you are paying a close attention, you should understand the reason why you should never share your private key with anyone. Because why? Anyone that has access to your private key has access to your money. Yes, all they need is private key to sign transaction. You have 10,000 waves on your account and you want to transfer it to an external exchange to convert into BTC or whatever. Now, before that waves amount can leave your account, you have to sign that transaction with a private key. What does it mean? It means you are proving ownership of this account. So if you lose your seed phrase or your private key to anyone, that means that same person have a full control of your account. It is unlike the Web 2.0 where you can rush to go and change your password or change your email. No, it doesn't work that way here. So you have to keep your private key as safe as possible. Now, once this transaction is signed, what happens? Now, the deal is done. You have approved the payment. Now, that transaction has to be mined so that it can get into the blockchain. Okay? Now, it moves to a Waves node. We talked about Waves node previously, that its major work is to what? To sign transaction, to validate transactions, and to mine blocks. Now, after the transaction is mined, what happens is what? It gives us a success message. Of course, it's authenticated, right? So, big question, big question. How an account appears on the blockchain. How does an account appear on the Waves blockchain? Now, we talked about the Waves account comprising of the public key and the private key. All right. Now, when a Waves account is created, it can be created through the Waves desk. You can create with your Android wallet app or iOS. Now, when this account is created, there is nothing on it. So the blockchain is not aware of that account. There is no activity. So it is impossible to find any transaction about this account when you scan it on the Waves Explorer. So until the moment an action is taken on account, this action can be receiving a token or sending out, all right, before the blockchain can know anything about this account. Okay, so when an account is created, it doesn't just stop there. There has to be an activity on this account before anything can be logged or anything can be recorded about it. Okay, okay, thanks guys for staying with us. And in our upcoming videos, we'll be talking on other parts of the Waves account, which will be interesting for you to find out. You'll be learning about the Waves smart accounts that have smart contract embedded into them. We hope to see you next on our video. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And thank you for staying with us. Thanks, guys.